Okay, so this is the iQOO 13, and just to give you an idea, last year iQOO 12 was the first phone to come with flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, and the entire year no smartphone with the flagship chip could ever match the iQOO 12 price. And iQOO launch after launch has made that image that an iQOO phone will have the best performance and latest specs for the price. And this year, iQOO 13 is not the first phone to come with new Snapdragon 8 Elite, but guess what? It is priced at 55,000, about 5,000 cheaper than Realme GT 7 Pro, and with offers and all, around 52 to 53,000. That is a very good price. Even in our FuntouchOS 15 video, people were hyped about the phone. So does the iQOO 13 live up to the hype? Is this an upgrade or a downgrade? And even the iQOO 12 is still selling for 50,000. So should you get that or this? We'll answer all of this. Let's go. So you get this big box. Inside you get the phone, a soft transparent TPU case, some paperwork, a 120 watt flash charger, a Type-C to Type-C cable, and a SIM ejector tool. Along with this, the card which shows the partnership of iQOO with BMW Motorsport. By the way, this car reminds me of NFS Most Wanted. Anyone in the comments? Now, before we get to the camera part, the iQOO 13 looks similar to the iQOO 12. There's slight changes in the flash positioning, the BMW track and iQOO logo is on the other side. The iQOO 13 is available in two colors, Legend and Nardo Grey. There are three differences this time in particular. If you see, the iQOO 12 had a glossy finish on the back glass. The iQOO 13 this time, it has a frosted glass at the back which doesn't leave a fingerprint mark if you use without a case. And for most of us who don't, well, it wouldn't matter much. And the second difference is this. Oh, wait. This. You get this light around the cameras. iQOO calls it Monster Halo Light. Now you get this dynamic light option in settings, which gives you the option to customize the glow for phone calls, notifications, etc. You can also select the type of light effects, speed, and even the color. You can even have gradients. It also glows during gaming, and. If you're that person, you can keep it on the entire time. But funny thing, it's so bright that at times I was using this as a night light. The third difference what we felt is iQOO 13 is slightly slimmer than last year, and yet they have managed to fit in a 6000 mAh battery. As we have said multiple times, you will see bigger batteries in flagships this year due to silicon carbon. It feels quite light and weighs in like 213 to 214 grams. On a single charge with playing games, watching content, scrolling reels and all of that, it easily lasted me a day without any issues. It charges at 120 watts. That means by the time you cook and eat Maggie, your phone is charged up to 50%. By the way, the charger is included in the box. A lot of people ask, why do I say this? Why charger in the box is a feature. 2024 charger box feature. And on the front, you get this 6.82-inch 2K flat display, which is upgraded than last year. Now, iQOO 13 has this feature called MEMC and Super Resolution. So what does this exactly do? In very simple words, when you're watching movies, it looks at 2 frames of the video and then adds extra in between frames in the video to make the video seem more smoother. So it makes 30 FPS movies look like 60 FPS. And this is something that we already get to see in TVs. This feature is supported on YouTube, Netflix and Prime Video. In our usage, it works only on Netflix and Prime Video. In Prime Video, it still works better, but on Netflix, it only works on the parts where it detects a fast-moving action scene. You also get HDR support on Netflix and Amazon. Now, another upgrade this year is the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. So the moment you tap on the sensor, the phone unlocks. And in outdoors, while using Google Maps for navigation or while booking rides, the display here is pretty bright. And while we are outdoors, that reminds me of the cameras, and you get a 50 megapixel triple camera setup. And here's what's different from last year. The main camera sensor is smaller, and this year you get a 2x telephoto camera instead of a 3x periscope camera. Now, how does that impact picture quality? See, in daylight, the pictures on the main camera come out good. If you zoom in, the photo has details. There's no change in my skin tone, plus the light control and the HDR in the background is pretty balanced. And in terms of zoom, you can go maximum at 30x. In nighttime, also the shots have good light control and all. And here are the photos in indoor lights. They come out good, but if you zoom in my face, there isn't much of detail. Now in portrait mode, in 24mm and 35mm, the photo looks good. The background blur seems natural. In 50mm, the portrait photo comes out really good, but in 100mm, the background blur is not gradual and it looks like a edge-to-edge portrait cutout. Again, in ultra wide, the photos look soft. Also, another thing that I noticed, there is a color shift in the pictures clicked using ultra wide angle and telephoto lens. Coming to videos, you can maximum shoot at 8K 30 FPS, but who is shooting at 8K? So you'll mostly be shooting in 4K 60 FPS, and this is how the video and mic quality is. There's also this ultra stabilization mode, but on that the resolution switches to 1080p 60 FPS. Now there is also portrait video mode. You can record it at 1080p, and here is how the background blur is. If I move my hand, it's not that glitchy. On the front, you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and here are the selfies from it. The skin tone is unchanged, light control is good as well. Now, the main and telephoto clicks sharp and vibrant pictures, whereas the ultra wide angle is decent. Now, before we get to the performance, software I believe has always been the pain point of iQOO. Even in our recent smartphone UI video, we ranked the FuntouchOS in did the job tier. Like, it always felt FuntouchOS isn't there. But two major developments has happened this year. Number one, even before Google and Samsung, iQOO was the first phone company to give Android 15 on their phone. So the update schedule of iQOO and Vivo has been really good. Rest, iQOO 13 will now come with 4 years of software updates and 5 years of security update, which I feel is really good since you buy a flagship for a long time. Now, to add to that, iQOO 13 has removed hot apps and hot games from the iQOO 13. It's also removed from iQOO 12, by the way. There are a few third-party pre-installed apps, but you can easily uninstall them, not a problem. Number two, this comes with the new FuntouchOS 15 based on Android 15. Now, this year the animation has been improved. The way you swipe and switch between different apps, it's pretty good. They have redesigned the icons in quick settings, settings menu, etc. Apart from this, if you have a small video, you can apply it as a live wallpaper. Now, majorly, iQOO has also worked on another area where it was completely out of the race, that is AI features. Now, in photos, if you have an old photo of yours, you can go to repair and enhance the quality of the image. Then you can erase and remove the unwanted subject in your image by simply circling on the subject. Plus, you now also get circle to search. So while scrolling through reels, if you find an interesting gadget, just circle to search, and now you don't have to ask for the link, you can directly search the gadget. Other than that, there are a lot of AI features that we have covered in this video in depth. You can check that out after watching this video, of course. Now, finally, performance. The reason why you get an iQOO device. You get the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite processor with the fastest LPDDR5X Ultra RAM. But how good does this processor perform? Now, we ran the AnTuTu benchmark, which evaluates your phone and gives a good overall score to it. Just to compare, we had iQOO 12 and Realme GT 7 Pro as well. It's definitely faster than iQOO 12, about 30%, and about the same as GT 7 Pro, more or less. Now, we wanted to see the heating, so we ran CPU throttling test on both Snapdragon 8 Elite phones. Surprisingly, where Realme had a slight throttling graph, iQOO was all green, so it kinda does better here. For the GPU, it scores lesser in 3D Mark. Now, for real life gaming performance, we played COD Warzone for 45 minutes daily, keeping all the graphic and frame rate set to high, and the gameplay here was smooth. The graphics looked really good. In our gameplay, we got around 50 to 60 FPS. Next, we played BGMI in HDR graphics with the frame rate set to ultra, and since it's an iQOO phone, you get ultra game mode, that is 120 FPS. And in ultra game mode, now you get an option called direct drive power supply. What it does is, while gaming, it supplies maximum power to the CPU and GPU of the phone while it keeps charging the phone at a slower speed. Other than that, you get super resolution, which improves the quality of graphics in the game. Then you have motion controls where you can assign some actions, like if I tilt the phone left, it reloads the gun, and like this you completely customize your settings so you can kind of play 8 fingers. Plus, you get game frame interpolation, so you can push certain games to 144 FPS, and all of this enhancement in games is happening because of iQOO's supercomputing chip Q2. Another upgrade also is USB 3.2 Gen 1, so you would have faster data transfer speeds. The only practical usage I could think of is, suppose if you want to live stream BGMI, it supports 2K 60 FPS live streaming to the USB-C port. Now, before we get to the conclusion, for the first time, iQOO is giving IP68 plus IP69 dust and water resistance, which is an upgrade over last year's iQOO 12, which had an IP64 rating. So if you accidentally drop your phone in the bucket or having a pool sesh with your G's, the iQOO 13 has got you covered. Rest, you get stereo speakers, there's no wireless charging. So what's the conclusion here? Does iQOO 13 live up to its hype? Now, last year with the iQOO 12, in terms of performance, it was one of the fastest phones, around 50 to 55,000. And this year with the iQOO 13, they're continuing to do that. With offers and discount, the iQOO 13 would cost around 52 to 53,000. I still feel a lot of brands will not be able to launch Snapdragon 8 Elite lower than 55,000. Now, last year's iQOO 12 was also positioned as a performance-oriented phone, but the cameras were really good, and it had a periscope camera which could take up to 100x zoom shots. Here, the main camera gives good result, but the ultra-wide angle and telephoto camera does a decent job. So yeah, to most of the parts, it does live up to the hype. And like in the Realme GT 7 Pro video, we told you to wait for iQOO 13, and I feel this is the best performance Snapdragon 8 Elite flagship phone that you can get. Let us know if you want us to do a long-term review of the iQOO 13. We'll use it a month or so and then get the video out. On that note, this is signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew, pew.